The New York Jets have recently cut Le'Veon Bell, their star running back. Now, we want to know, where will Le'Veon Bell end up with his new team? And was this a good move by the New York Jets? Oh my gosh. Let's eat.
What time is it? Game time! Woo!
What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Edwin, aka King Jaloff, and I'm back because we have some breaking news, and it's obviously some bad news because it has to do with my team. The Jets have recently cut Le'Veon Bell. This, I really can't say I didn't see coming, but I did not see coming. Wait, what the hell? We were actively trading this guy, right? Actively seeking a trade for Le'Veon Bell, and we couldn't get not one draft pick, nothing for the guy, nothing. I'm talking about at least a third rounder, a fourth rounder at that. Oh my goodness, guys! If you don't know, this will be a football video, so sit back, relax, and let's get into it. So, golly, I'm kind of disappointed. I'm not gonna lie, not because of Le'Veon Bell and how he didn't work out as a player, but because of what we did to him. What we did to him as a player. He holds out. So Le'Veon Bell, after his great season with the Steelers, holds out the next year because the Steelers decided to franchise tag him, and he didn't want to be franchise tagged. He wanted more as a running back, right? So he holds out for the whole season, and then the Steelers decide to cut bait with him. No worries, right? He becomes a free agent. He signs with us. Some may think it's a great signing. I thought it was a great signing at the time because I thought that our team was going to come up, definitely with a young QB and Sam Darnold. And you had some little weapons here and there that I thought that we would add on to the season, but that didn't happen, obviously. And then you get a coach like Adam Gase, who is not a leader at all. He's not a respected coach in the NFL, in my opinion. And then he comes in and ruins it. And on top of that, at the time, we had Mike McCagnon as a GM, and he didn't know how to run anything. He was just basically, he's basically a guy who goes to a strip club, just dishing out dollar bills, dishing out big contracts to guys. Like, you know what I'm saying? People thought that we overpaid for Le'Veon Bell. I personally didn't think so, but I mean, I get it. But, dishing out contracts to guys like you guys wouldn't even know. Ryan Griffin, CJ Mosley, all these guys that are getting big day contracts, and they're just overpaying for the guys, right? But sticking to Le'Veon Bell, he gets to the New York Jets. Now I'm thinking that we're gonna make a run for the playoffs last year, right? Easy schedule, different type of coach, QB whisperer at that with Sam Darnold, and we're on the come up. Tell me why, guys. Adam Gase, in my opinion, Adam Gase ruins Le'Veon Bell. I'm sorry, because Le'Veon Bell goes from being one of the best generational running backs or generational talent in a running back to being a scrub. A scrub. Ranked 23rd among all running backs this year, and I think dating back to last year's too. Like, this guy, since he's been with the New York Jets, has had 264 rushing yards. 264 rushing yards this season, I believe. And on top of that, last season he didn't have 1,000 yards. I don't think he even had 800 yards. He had a total of 4 touchdowns. 4 touchdowns. Let that sink in. 4 touchdowns, right? 4 touchdowns. He didn't have a run of over 20 yards. He didn't have a run of over 20 yards. How is that possible? Listen, guys, as great as a running back as Le'Veon Bell is, talking about running the ball, pass blocking, we're talking about catching the ball at the backfield. We did not use him to his advantage. We didn't use him the way that we should have. You see what Carolina is doing with Christian McCaffrey, right? And how they're able to incorporate him. He's basically the whole offense. Incorporate him into the offense in the way that he's the workhorse. He runs the ball, he catches the ball out the backfield. And to be honest, I'm not mad at that because it works. It draws away from the defensive line in an aspect that you give him the ball, right? You run the ball hard. And on top of that, you then open up the play action, right? And then on top of that, he's a great catcher out the backfield. So when you do is, now defenses have to account for Christian McCaffrey as a whole. And then you open up the lanes, the receiving yards that your possible receivers could get in the game because of that one player. Well, that's what we should have done with Le'Veon Bell, but it didn't happen. You know why? Because Adam Gase is a lousy coach. A lousy coach that should never be employed again in the NFL. I'm sorry. He should be fired. He should be fired. I'm sorry. But it's not all his fault, though. I'm not going to lie. It's not all his fault because I think that Mike Maccagnan didn't do a good job of putting an offensive line out there that was competent and equipped enough to open up some lanes for Le'Veon Bell. Because we all know that Le'Veon Bell isn't a hard-nosed runner. He's a guy who hesitates, that little stutter step to get some lane, to get some freedom. He's not a guy that goes straight into the hole. But we didn't have the offensive line to do that. So what Joe Douglas did this year was revamp the whole offensive line a little bit better than last year. I would say that it's still improving day to day, but it's not terrible, right? It's not as bad as it was last year. But now we have the likes of Adam Gase. He's still here. He's still here calling the plays. Listen, guys, I have never seen a head coach in my duration as a Jets fan use the weapons that he has the wrong way as much as Adam Gase has. I'm sorry. I can go back to last year, and I remember this game vividly, right? So we're going on the road to play Cincinnati. 0-7 team. I think 0-11 team at that point. 0-11 team, and one of their weaknesses on the team was they could not set an edge, which means that when you're running against the Cincinnati defensive line, right, they cannot contain rushers that are outside the numbers, meaning that if you run to the right or the left, as opposed to running straight up the middle, as opposed to straight up running up the middle, then you would have an advantage over them because they can't set the edge. Well, what do I think Le'Veon Bell is great at? Definitely hesitating, definitely getting in the open space, and what did Adam Gase do? He called plays that ran right up the middle against their defensive tackle, a star defensive tackle, Geno Atkins. Are you kidding me? Like, what is going on? What are we game planning for? What is the point of watching film? Guys, this is terrible. It's terrible because Le'Veon Bell he had a 91 grade prior to coming to the Jets. He finished with a grade of 75.8. That is insanely terrible considering where he was before. And now we take a cap hit of $6 million. It's not a lot, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. The point is, Le'Veon Bell wasn't going to be able to fix the flaws that this team has as a whole, that this offense has as a whole, And I was hoping that he would cope with it a little bit to help Sam Darnold to be able to give us some much needed talent that we hadn't had in years. But obviously that wasn't the case because it doesn't matter what type of talent you have. If you have a lackluster coach like you have in Adam Gase, it doesn't matter at all because what Adam Gase will do is call terrible play calls that will neither help the running back or the QB at that point. And he wouldn't help the offensive line in itself because some of the play calls, we can't run because we don't have the personnel to do so. I mean, this guy literally ran out everybody in Miami, and now he's doing it with the Jets. I don't get it. We had two games each year against this guy. We saw firsthand how much of a scrub he was as a coach, and we still decided to pick him as a coach. Oh my goodness, guys. Listen, stay tuned for the Adam Gase fired video because it's coming. It's coming. Yo, Will, it's coming, right? It's coming because there's no way that this guy Adam Gase has turned my QB, a guy that has loads of potential, into a scrub. And now look what he's done to Le'Veon Bell. I mean, seriously, you can't make this stuff up. You cannot make this stuff up. This guy has 4 touchdowns in 2 seasons. Let that sink in. That is terrible. He claims that he wants to get Le'Veon Bell more involved in the passing game. What happened last game? The Cardinals. What happened last game? 1 target last game. 1 target. That is terrible. Yeah, Le'Veon Bell coming here and then liking tweets on Twitter, because of how people such as Adam Gase are not using him correctly, right? That's insanely bad for the organization as a whole because, one, it shows how much of a leader that Adam Gase isn't because Le'Veon Bell doesn't want to come up to him and discuss the play calling that he feels is not working to the best of his interests. And so, we have a guy in Adam Gase who is a terrible leader. I quote, I hate that we have to, go this route and that we have to, go through the social media aspect instead of coming to me personally. Bro, no one wants to talk to you because you are a terrible coach. You're a terrible coach. I'm sorry. And just like I was about to make the video for Dan Quinn, but some technical difficulties happened. But I basically said for Dan Quinn that I don't think he will ever get a defensive head coaching job. That's one, or a defensive coordinator job, because his defenses have sucked in the past couple of seasons. So it'll be hard for him to get a defensive coordinator job. And if Adam Gase gets fired, or when he gets fired, it's going to be tough for guys to hire him because his offenses have sucked. His offenses have sucked in the past couple of seasons. I mean, I'm talking about no improvement. No improvement at all. No improvement. We were ranked last, I think either 30th or last in total offense last season. This year we're 30th, I think, or 32nd. It doesn't matter. We're below. We're at the bottom of the barrel. We're at the bottom of the barrel. That's terrible when you think about it, guys. So Le'Veon Bell is a free agent. Where does he go to now? Obviously a team that has a contending aspiration. I don't know exactly what team would need him as of right now. I think that every team that is pretty much contending is somewhat set. If you ask me, I don't know. I think that he's definitely going to go on a one-year prove-it deal. I know my guy Will was mentioning the Chiefs. I don't think it's going to happen, but we'll see about that. I think that he definitely goes to a team that is much needed when it comes to running the football, which I can't see a real weakness with any other team. Maybe the Saints. I'm not gonna lie, maybe the Saints, because I know how great of a back Alvin Kamara is, but Le'Veon Bell patched up with him wouldn't be a bad duo. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're both great running the football, both great catching the ball out the field, and that proved great things for Drew Brees, because let me tell you, the Saints are falling apart right now. They really are. Even though they won last game, they really are falling apart. You got Michael Thomas fighting in the locker room, calling out his coach. That's not good for the look. So listen, guys, I'm calling the Saints right now, but for the Jets, there's nothing good coming out of this. Like, nothing good. We didn't get no draft capital for him. We take a hit in dead money, which means that we owe the guy $6 million guaranteed. And on top of that, we have Frank Gore and Balaj. You guys don't even know the guy. Kenyon Balaj. Some guy he was cut. I'm sorry. So we have LaMichael Pirine, our rookie, and we have Frank Gore. Frank Gore in year 35. This guy is playing like LeBron stats right now. Year 35. This guy doesn't age. Why the hell are we signing freaking Frank Gore in the first place? I never even thought about that move to begin with. Like, why the hell would we bring in Frank Gore? Frank Gore, bro. Frank Gore. This guy should have been retired years ago. If you ask me, I'm sorry. LaMichael Pirine, he's going to get more reps, but still, it doesn't matter because the team is going nowhere right now. The team is going nowhere. We have no future this year. Next year, we might be back, though. You never know. But that's just delusional that Jets fan talking, you know what I'm saying? But anyways, guys, having too much fun with this. But anyways, guys, it's tough. It's tough living. All I know is pain right now. Listen, all I know is pain. But anyways, guys, that's all we have for this video. Le'Veon Bell ate today because he gets to now be away from the horrors of Adam Gase. The horrors of Adam Gase. Listen, we've seen it. We've seen it in many circumstances, right? We've seen the likes of Ryan Tannehill. Tannehill come out from being a Gase player to going to the Tennessee Titans, right? And he's over here working magic. He looks like a totally different QB. A totally different QB guy. This guy is magic. He's top 15 right now. He might be top 10 because of how good he's playing. You know why? That's because he's not a Gase player. He's not a Gase QB anymore. But anyways, that's all that we have for this video. Le'Veon Bell ate because he's no longer a Jets player. I'm going to miss him because if you ask me, Le'Veon Bell was an ultimate professional. He really was. He didn't say anything to come out and say any slander to Adam Gase or the GM for that matter, because listen, guys, when you're going through a bad tenure as a Jet player like Le'Veon Bell did, right, then you're going to have some words like Jamal Adams. We all know how vocal Jamal Adams was. Very vocal on Twitter, very vocal as a person. So he voiced his opinion out on Twitter. But for Le'Veon Bell, it was totally different. He was a great professional. I like that about him. He kept it cool, kept it nice off the field and on the field as well, too. And that's one thing that will always stick with him. and with me as a Jets fan, because I will always remember that even though things didn't work out as they were supposed to, or as we hoped, not that it was supposed to work out, but as we hoped, Le'Veon Bell did a great job of being able to be professional on and off the field. And that's very important. That's what's going to get him jobs in the future, to be honest. I'm rooting for Le'Veon Bell. I hope he has a good career. I hope he finds a way to rejuvenate his career, or rejuvenize his career, because, listen, if you go from the Steelers, and not saying that we was going to be a major drop-off, but, with Adam Gase and everything, and the way he played under Adam Gase, if you go to the Steelers to the Jets and how Adam Gase used him, it's going to be tough for teams to give him a chance. But he still has quality guys. He still has tremendous amount of talent. So some teams are going to give him a chance, to be honest with you. But guys, make sure you like, share, and subscribe to the video, to the channel. Some bad breaking news. But anyways, always remember, as I grow, we grow together. Stay tuned for the next video.